Well, don't know how long it's going to take to get through here. Might be a little while. The truckers behind me were putting their chains on. I haven't seen any pedestrian cars putting chains on yet. I've got mine in the car, but I think we'll wait a minute and see. The road clearing teams have been coming through. You can see, they hit that side of the road is pretty clear, so if they do the one in front of us, we should be all right. Just have to wait and see. So the police just let us know that they're trying to get everybody that's going to Levita, which is that turn right there you see. They're trying to get all them out of here, and they got to get these trucks out of our way, and then the cars are going to be allowed to go on up through the pass. And he said shorter rather than later. So let's hope that shorter is soon. And I asked him, I was like, are we closed for good? Is it 2 hours, 10 hours? He's like, nah, it's shorter than that. They just got to get these trucks out of the way. So we'll see what happens. Okay, headed up Veta Pass in a whiteout. There were some semis that had blocked the pass down near Levita, which is before you start going up the mountain. And it took probably about an hour for probably CDOT. There was, Colorado Highway Patrol down there, and some emergency vehicles and stuff. And they got the trucks off the road, off to the side, and then they let the passengers' cars come up. The road's pretty clear, They've got the road scrapers, or whatever the heck those things are called, the plows. They got the plows running through every so often. I haven't actually seen any go in the direction I'm going, but there's been a couple going the other way. And I'm going right around 50. Probably going to end up slowing up here when we get to the top, because I'm probably about 4 miles from the summit. And and the funny thing is they had the crossing guard down, like you see at railroad tracks. That was down, and it was one of those big trucks that says road closed. And the guy in the CDOT, reflective gear, he's out there, and he waved me on. He's like, "Go ahead." And I'm like, "Hey, if you say I can go up the closed road, I will." And they had the truckers all having to put their chains on, but they weren't letting any of them come up here. And I even saw the highway patrol pull up next to one of the truckers and tell him, "Your chains are not going to work. You have the wrong size chains for your truck, and you can't go." And I was like, "No, they're not playing around." But he could tell just by driving up and looking at the chains the trucker had put on there. He was telling him something about, the loops don't go over far enough. You've got 22.5-inch chains, and you need bigger ones, and all that kind of stuff. Now you can see up here the road's actually got some accumulation upon it. And there goes the highway patrol right now. So, I'm just putting along, but I figure if he's safe to go at, he's probably doing 55, because I've dropped down to closer to 40 now with this accumulation. So I will just keep on trucking, because all I want to do is get over the summit, down the other side, and to home. I'm like, from here, I'm probably, as the crow flies, I'm probably about 6 miles from the house. But going by the road, it's probably about 20, 25 miles, because I have to actually go out of the pass and go about 6 or 7 miles, and then make a U-turn on the dirt roads and go back towards the house. And then I'll actually go back up the mountain in a different direction, pretty much about as far as I go up this one. I live up about the same height as this summit. And, but that's all dirt road, and there's only 2 of us that live on that road permanent. So we'll see how far I can get up there. Fortunately for me, the steepest part is right before I get to the house, and I don't have to make it up the steepest part to my driveway. I got a lower driveway. I can just pull in there and haul the groceries up over 3 or 4 trips. Actually, probably 2 trips, because I could carry a bag or 2 up, and then I've got a little pull trailer I can pull down and get to the rest. But I got a bag of ice sitting on top of the groceries I bought in the Springs, and So they should be fine. I was getting to the point when I talked to that officer, I was like, well, you know, if we're going to be here a couple hours, I'm going to take my groceries out and sit them on top of the roof of the car, because it's cold enough out and nothing going to go bad in this. In that bag, you know, it's plasticized enough. The wet wasn't going to hurt them either. But, and that's funny is these two cars right here in front of me, I recognize that little red Kia. They allowed them to turn and go maybe 15 minutes before I got to go. So I don't know, they must have been behind a plow waiting, and the plow moved on ahead, or maybe these guys are just unfamiliar with the area. You know, I'm in a two-wheel drive, but I've got some snow and mud tires on this car, and they're pretty new. They were not cheap, and they do a good job. I mean, even with two-wheel drive, I get out pretty easily. But I attribute a lot of that to my neighbor, because he drives a little bitty compact car, and his tires don't look like nothing more than donuts. You know, spare tire donut style. And it doesn't matter how much snow or ice there is on the road. Every time I look out the window, I'm like, yep, he made it down the mountain, and I'll just go out in his tracks, you know. I'm like, if that little car of his can make it, then this one should be able to. And so far, that logic has done me well. But there have been a number of days where I've seen him go out, and I'm like, I'm not getting out of that. And then there's been a couple of days where there were no tracks, because, you know, if there's 2.5 feet of snow on the road, you know, what's the point? You know, you're going to get down to town, and, you know, it's a little bitty town, and almost everything will probably be closed, because the people who are down there can't get to it either. But, you know, this is a snowy area. I mean, here we are. This is May 6th. It's a 1:45 p.m. And, you know, there's a lot of road plows. There's a lot of infrastructure for dealing with this stuff. The one thing you don't see up here, salt. I don't see them salt the road. I haven't seen it a single time that I can remember. Now, maybe they do it in the bigger cities up north, but down here, you don't see it. And I guess they finally got this other side cleared. We got some traffic coming through. But, yeah, it's pretty up here. Oh, and here we are. That's the summit. Just pulled back into Costilla County. Entering San Luis Valley. Alright. Slow down a little bit here. Yeah, there's one real bad spot, probably about a mile from here, maybe just a little bit more, where it doesn't look all that steep, but it's not super sharp on the windy. It's sort of like the long winding curve and what have you. And people run off the road there all the time, and it is deep. You run off the road there, your whole car can be completely under the snow. And they've had, you know, I've seen a couple of articles where that happened in the past, where, you know, somebody's car just disappears, goes in the snow. But as you can see, there is not much up here other than snow, road, and those of us who are driving through it for no real good reason other than, you know, the only other choice is stay home, which is exactly what I'm going to do when I get home. Maybe get lucky, get to the other side, the sun will come out. I don't know if that Starlink's going to work in this too well. Now, I've had the Starlink work just fine in a heavy snowstorm, and I've had it not work at all in a heavy rainstorm. And those gray clouds seem to be the kryptonite for the Starlink. But I have a feeling it's probably not going to work real well in this. This is pretty effective as far as snowstorms go. All right, well, I'm going to concentrate on getting my butt home. Just thought you might like to see it. Come on, let's stay in between the ditches. It is slippery up here today. Snowy and icy. Less than a mile from the house. Speed to make it up this hill. Nobody's coming over the other side. Come on. Let's get up this hill. Come on. This one. Woo! Okay, we got one more little bit to come up over here. Alright, hold on to them like barely existent tracks. Come on. Come on, keep it between the ditches. Come on. Well, there's home right there. Come on, get up. Get up. Home stretch. Let's get up this hill. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. I don't know what that weird ass sound is. It's making. Come on. Hot damn. In the drive. All right. Woohoo! Well, now that was an adventure. Holy sheep herders.